Hello, this is Tae-ho Kim, the instructor of the course Green Revolution in Korea. In this unit, we will explore how the idea of the Green Revolution emerged within the context of the Cold War and how it contributed to the development of a new rice variety, Tongil, in South Korea.
Cold War context.
This segment explores how Cold War geopolitical rivalries influenced the agricultural development leading to the Green Revolution as a means to counteract food insecurity and potential communist influence in newly independent nations. After World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union, once allies, became ideological rivals in a global struggle for influence. As European colonial empires declined, many nations in Asia, Africa, and Latin America gained independence, presenting both superpowers with opportunities to expand their spheres of influence. The competition between the US and the Soviet Union was not limited to military alliances, but extended to economic and technological aid, including agricultural assistance. Both the superpowers saw food security as a crucial factor in maintaining political stability and winning allies. For the United States, ensuring food abundance in developing nations was not only a humanitarian effort, but also a strategic initiative to prevent the spread of communism. The US government feared that food shortages and economic instability could make countries susceptible to socialist or communist ideologies. Consequently, agricultural modernization became a key aspect of US foreign policy. Programs such as the Marshall Plan, which focused on rebuilding war-torn Europe, and later initiatives like the Food for Peace program or Public Law 480, aimed to provide surplus American agricultural products to developing countries, strengthening diplomatic ties while simultaneously expanding markets for US agribusiness. The establishment of the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, in 1961 further institutionalized agricultural assistance as a pillar of American foreign policy. USAID not only provided direct food aid, but also funded agricultural research, infrastructure development, and technical training programs in developing nations. This aid often came with conditions that encouraged the recipient countries to align their policies with Western economic models, promote private enterprise, and reduce state control over agriculture. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union also engaged in agricultural diplomacy, particularly through state-led agricultural collectives and technical assistance. The USSR provided support to socialist-leaning countries, including Cuba, North Vietnam, and Ethiopia, offering large-scale state-controlled farming models as an alternative to capitalist agribusiness. The competition between these two approaches, Western capitalist agricultural modernization and Soviet-style collectivization, was a defining feature of Cold War agricultural geopolitics.
Key ideas of the Green Revolution.
From the outset, the Green Revolution was about more than just food production. It was fundamentally linked to the Cold War geopolitical strategy. Western policymakers, influenced by Malthusian theories, feared that newly independent nations might face widespread famine due to rapid population growth and insufficient technological resources. Thomas Malthus, a British economist in the 19th century, had argued that population growth would inevitably outstrip food production, leading to cycles of famine and social unrest. This idea remained influential in shaping US policy, with many viewing food insecurity as a potential gateway to communist insurgencies. The Green Revolution was conceived as a vaccine against the Red Revolution, an effort to preempt the spread of communism by stabilizing food supplies and increasing agricultural productivity in politically fragile regions. The US government and international organizations heavily supported the Green Revolution, particularly in nations where ideological battles between capitalism and communism were most pronounced, such as India, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Mexico. One of the earliest large-scale implementations of the Green Revolution took place in Mexico. In the 1940s, the Rockefeller Foundation launched an agricultural research program that aimed to improve wheat yields through scientific breeding techniques. This initiative laid the groundwork for similar projects in Asia, particularly in India and the Philippines, where food shortages and political instability were major concerns. By the 1960s, US policymakers saw these agricultural interventions as essential to securing political loyalty in the developing world.
Norman Borlaug and semi-dwarf wheat.
It is important to clarify that the term green in the Green Revolution differs from modern environmentalist connotations. In the 1960s, the Green Revolution was not about sustainability or organic farming, but about maximizing agricultural output using advanced scientific methods. This approach included extensive use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and modern irrigation techniques. The green in Green Revolution referred to the dramatic increase in crop yields, not the means by which these yields were achieved. A key breakthrough in the Green Revolution was the development of high-yield, fertilizer-responsive crop varieties. Scientists discovered that nitrogen, a primary component of fertilizer, played a crucial role in plant growth. However, excessive nitrogen use often caused traditional wheat and rice plants to grow too tall and collapse under their own weight, a phenomenon known as lodging. The solution was to breed shorter-stemmed or dwarf varieties that could absorb more nutrients without falling over. This principle guided breeding programs for wheat, maize, and rice. Norman Borlaug, an American agronomist working in Mexico, made one of the most significant contributions to the Green Revolution. By crossbreeding traditional wheat with a Japanese dwarf variety, Borlaug developed high-yield, semi-dwarf wheat strains that dramatically increased wheat production. This breakthrough was particularly successful in Mexico and later in India and Pakistan, where food shortages had been a persistent issue. By the late 1960s, these countries had achieved self-sufficiency in wheat production, leading to widespread acclaim for the Green Revolution. In recognition of his work, Borlaug was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970, as the Green Revolution was perceived as a major achievement in preventing global hunger.
Criticisms and legacy.
Despite its successes, the Green Revolution was not without its critics. Two major areas of concern were its environmental consequences and socio-economic impacts. First, environmental impacts. The increased use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides led to long-term environmental damage. Soil degradation, water pollution, and the loss of biodiversity were significant side effects of intensive farming. The reliance on monoculture, growing a single crop over vast areas, made agricultural systems more vulnerable to pests and diseases, requiring even greater use of chemical treatments. Second, social and economic concerns. Critics argue that the Green Revolution made farmers increasingly dependent on multinational agricultural corporations for specialized seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides. Many traditional farming communities, which had previously saved and exchanged seeds freely, now had to purchase patented hybrid seeds each season. This shift marked a fundamental departure from agriculture as a largely self-sufficient enterprise to an industry increasingly controlled by agribusiness. Moreover, the Green Revolution widened economic inequalities. Wealthier farmers who could afford modern inputs reaped significant benefits, while poorer farmers often struggled with debt as they tried to keep up with the new technological demands. In some cases, land consolidation occurred as small farmers were forced to sell their land to larger landowners who could better afford mechanized agriculture. Despite these criticisms, proponents of the Green Revolution argue that it was essential in feeding the world's rapidly growing population. By the 21st century, global food production had increased dramatically, and famine became less frequent in many developing countries. As of today, the world's population has exceeded 8 billion people, and the lessons of the Green Revolution continue to influence agricultural policy and technological innovation. While the debate over its long-term impacts continues, the Green Revolution undeniably transformed global agriculture, making food security a central issue in both geopolitics and economic development.